Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So in today's video I will be doing a stem cutting for this particular variety of succulent. Now this is called as avocado cream. Now there is a lot of confusion when it comes to this succulent. A lot of people call it as Echeveria avocado cream, but a lot of places it's written as Graptoveria avocado cream. So I am not very sure exactly what variety it is, whether it's an Echeveria or a Graptoveria, but definitely it is an hybrid variety. It's not a very fast growing succulent, tends to grow quite slow, but it is quite hardy. This is what I have realized. Now this particular variety was not watered for a really long time, but it has still been doing quite well. Even after 2.5 months of being dehydrated, the leaves were quite wrinkled, but then after watering it, you can see now they are nice and plump. So this is a very nice and chubby succulent that you can go for. I will be doing a stem cutting because I want to propagate this succulent, and as you all know that stem cutting is one of the faster way of multiplying your succulents. This succulent also tends to grow very well with leaf propagation as well. I have done a leaf propagation. It tends to do quite well, but in this video I'm just going to be doing a stem cutting. I'm going to cut off all of these guys. Probably I'll leave the smaller one in it, but rest of them I'm just going to go ahead and give them a quick cut. The same process what we tend to do, I'm using a slightly thicker scissor over here because with the smaller scissor it's going to be a little difficult to cut the stem. You can see the stem is very thick, so a bigger and a thicker scissor is much better. So you can see how chunky this succulent is. I absolutely love the leaves. Right now the succulent is not stressed. You can see these red tips, they tend to get even more red in color. In fact, the entire succulent tends to look slightly orange in color. Right now it's quite green. Probably you can see it over here. This is how usually the color tends to look. In fact, it's going to be double the time, like it's going to be more evident on the upper portion of the leaves, and the tips, as you can see, they're very small right now. They get even more red. So an absolutely beautiful succulent. If you want to add it in your collection, you can, because it's a quite hardy succulent to grow. So let me quickly tip off majority of this. It's pretty simple to grow. So I have kind of cut off all of the I'm just going to leave this small little guy because he's quite small. I do not want to chop him off, and I think most probably this was a leaf propagation, if I am not wrong, because I don't see that it is connected with the mother plant in any way, and it's too far away to be connected to the mother plant. So most probably this was a leaf propagation. Because this entire arrangement was so compact, it was not visible to see any of the leaves if they fell accidentally. A lot of dry leaves, so it definitely means that one of this leaf was successful. Probably other leaves happened to dry when I was away. A lot of dry leaves, as you can see, so I'm going to clear them as well. This is the best time to do it. So I'm going to leave rest of them as it is. All of them look quite well. The cuttings have come up really well, so I'm going to leave rest of them, but all of these will be kept aside. I'm going to keep them in indirect bright light for a couple of days so that they can get healed, because these cuttings that we have just done also has to get healed. The soil is slightly wet. That's absolutely fine, because I have not going to be touching these stems to this moisture, so that's okay. That's not an issue. So here I have, you can see how easy it is to propagate succulents and grow succulents. I have a pup growing on the lower side as well, which again I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to separate it right now. I'm going to let it grow. So these are all of my cuttings that I've got from one pot. little bit of sun damage over here. This is usually how a sun damage looks like. A lot of people tend to get scared that what's wrong with this leaf. Now whenever you tend to see something like this, you can see there is a little bit of crack on this. This is probably because this particular leaf happened to absorb too much of water, and when it absorbed a lot of water, the leaf tends to break. There's a lot of edema. Now this is something that I wanted to point out, because a lot of people are very scared when something like this happens, and they think that this is probably a fungus or some kind of mold. Now this is not fungus, or this is not mold. This is taking a while to focus. Let me get it into focus. Okay, so as you can see, it's clearly, this is called as edema. This is not fungus. This is not fungus. This is not mold. This particular leaf absorbed too much of water, so the cells inside the leaf happen to burst, and when they tend to burst, they create these bumps on the leaf, and over here the leaf was completely cracked open. You can see this, and then it started to dry out. This leaf most probably will not get propagated, but again, I'm going to keep it aside. If it tends to propagate, the best part is the new leaf is not going to have any of this edema. It's going to be a new fresh leaf. So please don't be worried whenever you tend to see something like this, some bumps and stuff like that. Again, over here some more of these leaves have the same issue. This is all edema. It's not fungus, it's not mold. It's pretty normal. You can leave the leaf as it is. It's not going to cause any harm to the succulent. The only thing you have to do is ensure that you follow a proper watering schedule. Now I think this might have happened initially because I had dehydrated the succulent a lot, and then when I immediately watered it in one go, the succulent leaves happened to absorb too much of water, due to which there were these bumps. So there is nothing to be worried much. It tends to work out a lot of, and this is all majority on the lower leaves, because those are the leaves that tend to have a lot of wrinkles, and they are the ones that tend to receive the water first. But as you can see, the upper portion is all good, because then they were not dehydrated to that extent. So the upper portion of the leaves are all very, very healthy. You can see it's just the lower leaves that have the edema, and that's pretty normal. There's nothing to be worried. It is not contagious. It is not going to spread to other succulents, so you do not need to be worried. So if we are going in terms of Graptovaria, then Graptovaria tends to go dormant during the summer, and winter is the growing period, so you can work accordingly. But other than that, this is a very hardy succulent. You can definitely add it in your collection. It's a fuss-free plant, just like a lot of other succulents. A lot of Graptovarias are very fuss-free, so this is one of them. It tends to do quite well and is not a very finicky or a fussy succulent. So as you have already clicked on this video, I don't want you guys to just see the stem cutting. I'll quickly give you a little bit of tips, care tips. Give it a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, or indirect bright light. Do not keep this succulent in shade. Ensure that you water only when the soil is completely bone dry. The soil remains the same what we tend to use for our other succulents. It has to be loose, porous and well draining. Pest attack is very rare on this succulent. I haven't seen any pest attack in past 2 years. It has been doing absolutely well. This variety, again, as I said, I'm not very sure whether it's an Echeveria or Graptovaria, because both Echeveria and Graptovaria have a very different dormant period. So only time will let us know. But as of now, I'm going according to what the websites say. A lot of websites that tend to sell succulents have labeled it as Graptovaria avocado cream. Now I would take that word, because a lot of sellers do have the right IDs, so I'm going to go according to that. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.